All right, let's review real quick. We got tip number 1, ready, set, act. Remember that motivation comes from action, not inspiration. But number 2 is build your environment. So now is where you do have a little bit of control of how inspired that you feel. So you can intentionally build more inspiration around you. Point number 3, change your dang tude. Okay, we talked about being conscious of what we're thinking about, and that if we're constantly in this negative headspace, that doesn't leave a lot of energy for us to feel lighter and be happier, and as a byproduct, be more motivated. Number 4, we're going to talk about willpower versus why power. So willpower is it fatigues just like a muscle. So you think when you work out, you're doing push-ups or you're doing some squats, and all of a sudden you're like, I cannot do a single rep because your muscles are fatiguing. Well, your brain works a lot in the same way. So if you are constantly, it doesn't matter if you're figuring out, what do I wear? What do I eat? You know, how am I going to run kids here, run kids there? And these kids are in this sport, and here's another sport, and then I have to do this and work and paperwork and answer emails. So all of this starts to fatigue your willpower. And so what happens is we found that most people, even in my own life, the clients that I've had, they'll do really good for breakfast, really good for lunch, and then all of a sudden for dinner, they're just burnt out. And so they're like, all right, we're getting takeout, or we're ordering a pizza. And then they come in the next day and they're like, I did so good until I got to dinner, and then I ate pizza. So why power is the reason behind why you are making this positive change in your life. So maybe you've got kids and you want to set a good example, or maybe you got some bad news from the doctor and he said you got to get your act together, or you know, you're going to be on medications, or things could get even worse than that. So why power is that deeper reason behind why you are choosing to take up this new habit. So if it is working out, sit down and write out a couple reasons why. And what this why does is it gives you power or motivation to keep going even when your willpower is fatigued. Even for me, I've got a picture of what I want to look like, my physique. And just because I'm a trainer doesn't mean that I always can't wait to go work out. So I'll just be like, man, maybe I'll skip. I'll talk myself into being too sore or whatever. But I look up and I see that picture and I was like, that is what I want to look like. And I know that sounds a little vain, but hey, if it works, it works. So it could be a picture for you guys as well, or it could be something a lot more. You really do want it to pull some emotional strings, but the picture of what I want to look like works for me. And so I get my butt up and I go to the gym and I do it anyways. And there's not one time that I've tried to talk myself out of the gym and then went and worked out and then afterwards was like, dang, I shouldn't have done that. It's always worth it. So willpower versus why power. Willpower will fatigue. Why power lasts forever. And again, the deeper that you can get, the more emotional strings that you can pull, the deeper your why, the more it's going to sustain you and allow you to make those good choices even when you don't feel like it.